Good evening, everybody. We're live in the Crystal Motorcraft. This is Dave. I got on the line with me, Buddy Ho. Hey, Buddy.
Hey, how you guys doing?
And Buddy drives the alcohol. What do you call that?
Yeah, so on alcohol through 23D. So some people call them fuel alters. I don't know. To me, fuel alter is anything that has north of 90% in it. But hey, everyone's got their own little term, right?
Yeah. So what you got going for the evening, Buddy?
Yeah, man. So just beautiful Friday. Enjoying the weather and thinking about drag racing, man. I appreciate you guys having me on here, and man, it's always great to have an opportunity to promote the sport and talk about hey, what you guys got going on, what I got going on, and man, life is good. That's it.
You know you're always welcome to come on our show.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So, Buddy, how's the car looking these days? Is it ready to run?
Yeah, so I got two cars. My old blown alcohol car is we've done some work to that over the winter to kind of step that car up a little bit, which I'm pretty excited about. Wanted to keep that thing on the track and keep myself fresh in the seat. I didn't want to take any time off between end of last season and then having my new car out and stepping into it. So did some things to that car over the winter to kind of freshen it up and put a new supercharger on it and just making some little changes here and there to try to step it up and that's it, man. Life is good. Working on the new car every chance we can get. Right now the car is at Baumgartner's shop and mounting a body and the rear and front wing, which I just can't wait to get it back so we can finally put this thing together. But we're getting close, that's for sure. We have about 95% of all the parts and pieces. It's just a bunch of little things left to do and get that thing together and light it off. So
now the new car is going to be nitromethane, correct?
That's correct. Yep, absolutely. Yeah. We'll baseline tune up at 93% and go as high as 99, whatever it calls for, But yeah, it's going to be 65-gallon pump car, 1471 blower, big mag, 4-disc clutch. So pretty excited about that.
So tell us a little bit about the time you spent driving for Time Mochi.
Yeah, so drove for Tom last year, and I've also crewed for Tom 2 years prior to that, and great experience, man. Taught me so much stuff. I was able to get my license in his car and make a lot of passes in his car last year, which I'm very grateful for. Got to experience all different kinds of situations, which was great, and yeah, man, it's all good. I'm very thankful for that opportunity, and Tom and I had planned from the word go for me to drive for him for just the one season because I have two of my own cars, but yet I did want to learn and have him help and teach and coach me and all that stuff. So I guess you're never ready to move on, but I'm going to go ahead and throw myself right in the fire with this new car and see how we do. However, I do have some really good people to help me, and I'm very thankful for them as well because I know that I'll be safe when I get in that car.
So how did it feel behind the seat of the Jurassic Classic?
Oh, it's great, man. I mean, it's a cool car. A lot of history there. There's nothing like driving a fuel car. I think for any driver, once they've stabbed the loud pedal on the fuel car and experience clutch touch in their face and looking out the window and seeing header flames and there's just nothing really compares to it. So blessed to be able to do that, and very blessed to be able to continue to do that. I want to share that experience with other people as well. So I got a couple new in-car cameras, which I'm pretty excited about as well. They're 4K cameras, and they have a 210-degree viewing perspective, so you'll be able to see pretty much everything going on, facing out and facing me. So I'm pretty excited about those.
So what was the quickest run time you had in the Jurassic Classic?
I'm sorry, Dave, you broke up on me. I didn't hear you.
So what was the quickest run time you had in the Jurassic Classic?
Fastest time? Is that what you said?
Yep.
598. I believe it was a 598 with a 6 at 251 point, I think, 6 miles an hour, if I remember correctly. And that was at Route 66 in Joliet.
So, buddy, what's your favorite track to run on?
Man, that's wow. Well, you know, all of them are great. First of all, every drag strip's a great one. I have a few favorites. You know, Indy's cool. You know, I've been down that track a few times, and I don't know, man. There's nothing like you know, going to the starting line. You know, at the track in Indianapolis. It's just there's so much history there. It's just such a cool track. You know, Martin, Michigan is also a great track. One that's notable that I really enjoyed running at. Another one is Bowling Green, Kentucky. You know, I mean, Bowling Green, Kentucky just screams nostalgia. It's got the bleachers with, you know, the overhangs on them, so the crowd is shaded, and man, they're so close to the track. I mean, fans are like maybe 15 feet away from the track, so they really get the experience, and you know, they can smell the fuel, and you know, when the cars leave the line, they can really feel it in their chest, and so those are probably my three favorites, I guess. And I love them all, though. I mean, that's a tough question because you know, I think you know, you never have a bad day at the drag strip, so.
Yeah, any drag strip is a good drag strip because you want to have as many drag strips as possible these days.
That's it, man. You know, I gotta say, you know, I haven't been able to run the track yet, but there's no doubt about it. I think the most, you know, well maintained and the best kept, and I think overall the best facility I've ever been to is EMAX in Charlotte. I mean, that thing is amazing. It's just everything about it. I mean, everything from the layout to the cleanliness, everything about that track is amazing. And looking forward to getting on that track someday. That's definitely a goal of mine.
Is that the 4-track one?
Yeah, that's where they do, you know, the 4-wide, and man, if you ever get a chance to go there, for anybody listening, Dave, for you, for anybody, I mean, I think, you know, it's such an experience to see 4 fuel cars lined up next to each other, and you know, smashing the loud pedal, and I mean, it's 40,000 horsepower all at once, and the feeling that you get is just amazing. I mean, it literally shakes the earth. You know, 2 of them shake the earth, but when 4 of them are going down the track, it is pretty amazing, no doubt.
Yeah, and as you may remember, I was watching your live Facebook video when you were there.
Yeah, man, I went live, yeah. That's my second time going there, and man, I'll go back as often as I can. You know, hopefully someday in a car, right? That's the goal. But until then, man, I'm okay with being a fan. You know, I'm not just a team owner and a driver, but I'm a fan too. You know, I enjoy going and sitting in the stands and watching everybody else. So everything and anything about drag racing, I'm a fan of.
That's good. So go ahead.
I'm sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
And you know, any way I can help promote the sport as well. You know, like you mentioned, going live. You know, I had a lot of people watching those videos. You know, people love that stuff. So, you know, whatever I can do to push and promote the sport and get people interested is also one of my goals with drag racing.
Yeah, I always try to tell families to get the kids out there.
Yeah, you know, man, kids' eyes light up. I mean, you know, to me, obviously we're in a changing world where technology is entertaining kids, but, you know, still to this day, I mean, you know, when kids see these cars, man, the bright colors and, you know, the big header flames and all of that, I mean, you know, they can't help but to be stimulated and totally dig it. And, you know, we need these kids interested because, you know, it's a sport that, you know, needs interest to keep it going. It needs people who want to work on these cars and spend money and sacrifice, you work all day, and then you go home at night and you work on your car till midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, and and then weekends where everyone else is at the beach or whatever, you're at the drag strip, or you're working on the car because you tore it up the weekend before or whatever. So anyway, I don't want to ramble on, but we need kids interested, we need families interested, and I tell everybody, I think drag racing is about as American as it gets. When you think of all the other sports that America hosts, I got to say that almost all those sports, if not all of them, outside of drag racing, is derived from another country. Or it's we've done a spin-off of a sport that was derived and developed in another country, and not drag racing, man. It is 100% American made. And we got to keep it going, man. We got to do everything we can to keep it rocking.
Yeah, it's good to see the junior dragsters picking up a little bit more now.
Seems to be. Yeah, the junior dragster scene kind of died off for a while. I would say it hit its peak in the early 2000s, and and since then it's just kind of died off. It's gotten very expensive. I mean, my God, I talked to some of these guys, and they got $25,000, $30,000 in these cars for these kids, which completely blows my mind, and I think is overkill. But it's making its comeback. I'm actually going to do a competition on my website and on my Facebook page for kids that are junior dragster drivers, which I'm pretty excited about. We'll be rolling out that competition next couple weeks. We have a sponsor that's sponsoring that event and that competition, so I'm really pumped about that to get that announced and see what happens with these kids. So the only qualifications you got to be a junior dragster driver to enter in the competition. So we're pumped about that.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of drag racing live feeds lately, and I noticed they've been showing junior dragsters now.
Yeah, man. Again, it's you and I've spoken, and we feel the same way. And for everybody listening, teach your kids, how to drive before they turn 16, and it teaches them how to drive at a high level, and teach them discipline, and it can be used as a reward system. You get good grades, you get to race your car, and it's good. It's good to get it's good to get your kids out there and get their hands dirty, and let them turn a wrench, and help them understand what it's like to work hard for things, and have them understand what it feels like to lose and what it feels like to win. I think there's something to be said about that, because drag racing is only one winner, which means if 20 kids show up, 19 of them are going to feel what it's like to lose, and that one's going to feel what it's like to win. And I think that's such an important piece of the learning and growing process for kids. So it's not just about the cars, it's not just about spending time with the families. It also really does teach the kids so many different things. So I'm a huge fan. I wish they would have had them when I was a kid, but unfortunately, they were they came in at a when I was at an age that it just didn't make sense to have one. So it goes. I never got a chance to drive one.
So what was the first car you started racing in?
I'm sorry, Dave. One more time. I didn't hear you.
What was the first car you started drag racing in?
A Chevy pickup truck, ironically. So nothing special, man, that's for sure. Just something to go down the track and get comfortable, Learning your surroundings on a racetrack is something you have to do. If you're not familiar with, the 60-foot and the 330 and the 8th mile and the 1,000-foot and the quarter mile, and you're not familiar with, the starting line procedures, and, you're not familiar with looking at a Christmas tree and going on yellow, and if you're not familiar with, getting really just comfortable and having good point of judgment, you really will never do well as a driver. And so, you don't have to really go fast to develop those things. And, as you go faster and as you progress, those things become more and more critical. So, my suggestion to anybody that's looking at, becoming a race car driver, especially, drag racer, is get on the track with, in something that, is an everyday driver, and just go down the track a bunch of times and just get really familiar with it. And it'll help you better understand or get a better idea of where you're at when you're in a fast car, because you really don't have time to think. When you're behind the wheel of a 5, 6, 7, 8, even an 8 or 9 second car, your time to think is very limited. It becomes 100% reaction based. It's all instinct. So, you can help yourself, and you can become more instinctive just by spending time going on the track. You don't have to go fast. You just got to be there, and you become more instinctful that way.
Now with your nitro car, that won't be ready till next season, right?
Maybe this fall. We'll see. At this point, I'm kind of, I'm really not in any hurry, to be honest with you. I have a beautiful car, that I've been running for a lot of years, and I'm perfectly happy with. So, it's a fast car too, and whenever the new car is done, it's done. I'd like to see it done this fall. That's for sure. And if all goes well, that's definitely a possibility. But to be honest with you, I'm in no hurry. I really don't care. It's just whenever it gets done, it gets done. I refuse to hurry the process and put it together the wrong way and cut corners. And to be honest with you, just I want to make sure everything is as perfect as can be and as safe as possible, and everything's right. So that way, when we go out, we have hopefully some high levels of success from the word go. That's the intention anyway.
So let me ask you this little fun question. When you get that thing running, would you be looking forward to going against Jurassic Classic?
Yeah, man, sure. I'll put it in the lane next to him. Heck yeah, why not? I'll put it next to anybody. I don't care. It's all good, man. I hope, man. The goal, hopefully is these cars just keep getting built time and time and time again, and there's more of them coming out. Sure, it'd be awesome to get all these cars in one place at one time and have a race. 7, 8, 9, 10 of them, whatever. It sure would be awesome. But yeah, I'll put in the lane next to anybody. I don't care. It's all good.
So have you been to Great Lakes Dragway?
Oh yeah, a bunch of times, man. No doubt, a bunch of times. And that's another great track. Tons of history there. But yeah, I've been up there. Sure have.
Have you ever ran up there?
Never ran up there. I've crewed on cars up there. I've been a spectator up there, but I've never taken a car down the track up there.
Yeah, that would be cool to get the alcohol blown car up there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm looking at a few different races this summer, a few different opportunities. One that's on my bucket list that I've just not been able to do it in the past because the schedule overlaps to the World Field Alter Nationals, and I definitely want to drag the car up there and make a shot at that deal. Hopefully all goes well. It's kind of like the race of the race for Field Altered, so be nice to do well up there. That's for sure. Yeah,
because Great Lakes and Labor Day weekend, they do the Time Machine National. They have a lot of old cars.
Yeah, I've heard about that. I've never been up there for that, but I've heard that they have a lot of cool stuff up there. I'm not sure what all groups go up there, but I know it's all nostalgia stuff. So it looks like a good show.
Yeah, your car would fit in.
Yeah, man. No, it definitely fit right in. Maybe I should give him a call up there. What's his name? I forgot his name, but maybe I should give him a call, see if he'll stick me in the show, right?
Which one, Randy?
Not Randy.
Marcel?
I think so. Yeah, I think maybe that's his name. I'm sorry, I'm absent-minded. I just can't remember the guy's name. But yeah, it's definitely a good track, man. So much history up there. I mean, everyone's ran up there. I mean, Don Gartley, Shirley Muldowney, all the big names have been to Great Lakes. I mean, no one put on a better show than Broadway Bob, and he definitely built a lot of history at that track. I'd love to run it someday.
Yeah, rest in peace, Broadway Bob.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that guy was a character, right? You know about him?
Yeah, I used to go there all the time when I was young.
Yeah, he's definitely a character. Definitely knew how to promote a drag strip, that's for sure.
Because my dad started taking me to drag racing when I was probably about 4 or 5 years old.
Oh, that's cool. Did he have a car?
No.
Just go as fans.
Just fans.
Got you. Hey, man. So you know what I mean. Get to the track, man. I tell everybody, get to the track, check it out, and buy from the track. Buy your food from the track, buy a T-shirt from the track, support those tracks because, man, those tracks close down and the fun's over. No more drag racing for any of us. So get out there and support those tracks and the drivers. I mean, these car owners and these drivers, man, they spend so much time and money on these cars, and it's so good to have people sitting in the seats. It makes you feel like it's worth it. So if you're a fan and you're listening right now, get on out there and support your local track, because it needs the support, and nothing's cooler for those drivers than seeing butts in the seats.
Yeah, so when I was young, when my dad used to take me, I'd see Shirley Modani and Don Garlis and Tom McEwen and Don Perdomo and all them.
Yeah. I mean, man, that was back when quote unquote the golden years of drag racing, right? Those guys paved the way for everybody else, So
Chris,
yeah, I'm sure that I never got to see those guys in those days. I think the first time I was able to, get to the track and see those level of racers was in the late 80s or maybe even early 90s. I was, somewhere around there, the first time I was ever at the track where, all the big show guys were. But I started going to the track when I was probably 3 or 4 years old. It's probably as soon as I was old enough to walk and know how to listen to somebody is when my dad and my uncle started taking me to the track. So, but lucky, man, you're blessed to be able to get a chance to see those guys when you were young. It's way cool. Yeah,
and of course there was Chris the Greek Karamassini.
Yeah, man, he's still going at it too.
Yeah. And the Chi-Town Hustler, the Blue Max, all those cars, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Those are the golden years. There's no doubt about it. And those guys, it was one big experiment back then. Drag racing has evolved so much. I mean, not just the horsepower and the times and the miles, but in the safety. I mean, my God, if you look at those old cars, you ask yourself, how did anybody live through a wreck, right? I mean, they weren't safe. The fire suits were not so good, and they had no neck restraints, and the seat belts were really technically not in the cars the right way. They had no really roll cage padding, and so the helmets weren't as good. All the above, and these guys got in some serious wrecks and lived through them. So God bless them.
So what do you think about pro mods?
I think pro mods are cool, man. I to me, I think the three, I want to say, most interesting things to watch on a drag strip are these three things. The first thing is a fuel altered. I don't think anything is cooler than a fuel altered. To me, they're the most wicked thing on a racetrack. The second thing is a top fuel Harley. I don't know. There's only one thing cooler than that. That's a fuel altered. And then the third thing is a pro mod car. And then after that would be, big show fuel funny car. To me, the pro mod cars, they're high horsepower cars. They're super unpredictable. They're left-hand steer. Everything about them is evil. And man, they're fast. I mean, these guys are running some goofy, crazy numbers. And it's amazing to see it. I mean, I remember when the class first got started, Bill Coolman and all those guys, back in the late 80s and 90s. And I remember reading my dad's National Dragsters and, seeing these guys. And, man, they were, like, running in the 7s, I think, or something. Like, it's, now they're in the mid-low 5s. I mean, it's just crazy the numbers they're running. So they're basically running, top alcohol funny car numbers. The top alcohol funny cars really aren't that much faster. So it's amazing to see a left-hand steer car be able to do that. They're suspended cars. They get that suspension. I mean, they have so much stuff going on that it's just amazing they're able to do it. And I would venture to say it could be the toughest car on the drag strip to drive as well. Especially, I think the turbo cars, I mean, they just got to be hard to drive. But they're a lot of fun to watch, that's for sure. I'm not necessarily a fan, though, by the way. To me, if it doesn't have nitro in the tank, I'm really not such a fan. But I do think they're cool, and I do think they're fun to watch.
Now, what do you think about exhibition cars like wheel standard and jet cars?
No, man, I think they're great for the fans. I think from a drag racer's perspective, they're okay. It doesn't really get my blood flowing and all that stuff. But I think from a fan's perspective and a kid's perspective, I think that they're awesome. I mean, to a kid, seeing a jet car go down the track is just awesome. Seeing a wheel stander do a wheelie, but down the whole track is just it's just awesome. I remember when I was a kid, and I remember watching those things. And, I was always, my jaw always dropped, and I'm like, man, that's cool. I forgot the guy's name, but as a kid, there was a '57 Chevy Nomad, or maybe it was a '55 Nomad. But either way, I remember a little bit about the guy. His name was George, and I don't remember his full name, but the owner and the driver's name was George. And man, cool car. He put that thing in the air and all the way through the lights on the bumper. Man, sparks flying. It just totally kicked ass. It was cool.
Now, did you ever see the Little Red Wagon?
No, you know what? I think maybe he was retired before I had started going to the racetracks. I've seen the Little Red Wagon. I've seen it at the Don Carlos Museum. You walk in the door, and it used to be. I don't think it's there anymore, but you walk right in the door, and it used to sit right there with the front wheels in the air. But I never actually saw it go down the track, which sucks. Now I have seen the Hemi under glass. I've seen that car make passes, which is really cool. It doesn't get much more nostalgia than that for a wheel stander. I've seen him make passes at Bowling Green at the Hot Rod Union, which is really, really, really cool.
Yeah, there's still a few old timers running wheel standers right now. You got the Richard Hudgens in the Chevy Rebellion.
Yeah.
And you got what's his name? Jim Brewer's got the Brewer's Peacemaker. I don't know if you ever seen that car.
No, never seen that one. Nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, they are cool though. I mean, from a fan's perspective, I think they're definitely one of the coolest things at the track. But again, I mean, what beats nitromethane? What beats that? That thunder and that smell and that fire. I don't think anything. If there was something cooler to do on this planet, I'd go do it. So if anybody out there listening can think of something cooler, you let me know. Because I'll go do that. Especially if it's cheaper, because this stuff ain't cheap. But as far as I can see, burning nitro and being at the racetrack, nothing's cooler than that. That's for sure.
Now, have you ever seen Arnie the Farmer Beswick race?
One more time, Dave. I didn't hear you.
Have you ever seen Arnie the Farmer Beswick?
Yeah, man, Arnie the Farmer. I've seen that guy like hundreds of times, and I got to tell you, I think he goes faster in reverse than he does in forward.
Exactly.
I mean, it's amazing. I mean, he's grabbing gears, backing up, and I got to tell you, it makes me nervous every time. I've seen him make passes in that funny car he did too, and that thing up fast. But he's been doing it that way, I guess, for 50 years. So he clearly knows what he's doing. But you won't see me backing up that fast anytime soon.
Yeah, he'll be up at Great Lakes Driveway next weekend for the Memorial Day thing.
Yeah, he'll be backing up around 50 miles an hour. At least that's what it looks like. 45 or 50, I'd say.
And he always does some nice long smoky burnouts too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he puts on a great show, and he's another guy. It's great to see he's still doing it. Him and Chris Karamessinis. I mean, how long have these guys been doing it? I mean, you can't even put a date on it. I mean, I don't think either one of them plan on stopping anytime soon, and it's definitely inspirational. That's for sure. It's so cool to see.
Yeah. So what else, buddy? What else you got planned?
Yeah, man. So that's it. I mean, I guess that's it in a nutshell. Take my old car out 3 or 4 times this summer, and continue to work on the the new car, and do my very best to get it on all 4 wheels, and put some fire in the pipes, by fall, and man, just have a good time doing it. I couldn't do it without, certain people as well. I have some great sponsors and some great people that are constantly helping me. Mike Anderson Chevrolet is great to me. DJ Safety, man, Ben Conant, that guy, man, he's helped me, timeless times. Mike Solando at Alki Digger, he helps me out tons, tremendously. All the guys at Good Vibrations, they're phenomenal. Been working with those guys for a lot of years, and they help me out. Blower Shop, they build one heck of a good product, and I just put a brand new blower shop on my blown alcohol car, which I'm extremely excited about. Dan Rick's Photography has been following me around for the last 8-9 years, taking pictures, and I could never thank him enough. And also, all my crew. I mean, there's no way I could do it without them. my dad, my uncle, and Lisa Cibolo, and everyone else has helped me along the way. I can never thank them enough. I'll be forever thankful. And for those people sitting in the stands who don't understand this, the driver gets the easy part. The hard part is in the pits, and the crew doesn't get much glory and they don't get much credit. But the truth is, your crew people, they're the most important piece of the puzzle. Without a good crew, without reliable people that you trust, you really got nothing. So hats off to all those people and all my sponsors and anyone else, any fans that support me and have helped me along the way, other racers that have helped me along the way. I have a laundry list of those, and too many to name, but if you're listening, thank you all. I do appreciate it. Be forever thankful to so many people, that's for sure.
Now, as far as you were talking about your crew, I heard you like to give them a nice barbecue.
Yeah, man, yeah. We like to cook, man. We like to have a good time in my pits. And so, I have an open pit policy, man. That's the deal. Anybody's welcome in my pits. And, we don't just grill 5 cheeseburgers and 5 hot dogs. We'll grill up 15, 20 cheeseburgers and 10, 15 hot dogs and whatever else. And, the wives and the girlfriends and the mothers, whoever's there, they bring side dishes and desserts. And we normally have 2 to 3 tables full of food, and anybody around us is welcome. That's kind of how we do it, man. We feed other race teams and feed other drivers, and heck, we feed dogs. We'll feed anybody. It's all good. we have fun doing it. So if you're ever anywhere where I'm at, Dave, you better stop by and get some food, or I'll be mad at you.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, if you ever come out this way, me and my wife, we'll definitely come by and eat something.
That's it, man. Yeah, anybody's welcome in my pit. It's always been that way. It always will be that way. It's a family deal and it's a friends deal, and it's got to be fun, or I'm not going to do it. And that's just how it is.
So in the drag racing business, are there any pros and cons to the drag racing business?
Well, I mean, there's so many pros, and we've talked about some of those in the last 30 minutes. But cons, it's a sacrifice. you're going to sacrifice time. It costs a lot of money. These parts are expensive. There's a lot of heartache through losing and through making mistakes. Even the best of the best, they make mistakes every single weekend. Turn your TV and watch it. There's not a week that'll go by that John Force don't make a mistake, or Tony Schumacher, or Ron Capps, or whoever. These guys make mistakes. These car owners make mistakes. The guys that work on them make mistakes, and that's the cons. There is some heartache involved, but you know what? That's what keeps me going, and I think that's what keeps a lot of people going. Is it's a challenge, right? It's you against the racetrack. It's you against the parts on your car, and you got to win. There's so many little victories that can be won. At the racetrack, it's not just about winning that round or winning the race. Sometimes a victory can be as simple as getting the car, go down the track without shaking the tires or smoking the tires. That can be a victory. There's so many little victories that can be had at the racetrack, and so the same things that break your heart are sometimes the same things that make you the happiest. So, been through a lot of those, and I'm sure I'll go through a lot more of them. So that's drag racing, man. Sometimes it is a drag. Sometimes it's a race.
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of drivers. They have no sponsors, so they wish they could do more to work on their car and boost it up more, but they don't got the money.
Yeah, the parts are expensive. And the more power you make, the more parts attrition you have. These, for example, these big show cars, this is a fact that blows my mind. They get 3 to 6 runs out of a crankshaft. The crankshaft is $4,000, and they get 3 to 6 runs out of it. That's crazy to me. But that's what happens when you make big horsepower. You have a lot of parts attrition. So, the less power you make, the less parts attrition you have, which means it costs less money. So, it's not just about buying the parts to go faster, to get your car to go faster. It's once you buy those parts or put that fuel in the tank, it's the maintenance, right? These big show cars are claiming, they cost anywhere from $10,000 to $12,000 to make one run. That's crazy to me. It's just it's out of hand. It's completely unobtainable for the average American to be able to go out there and even consider doing it. Even burning nitro at the level that that we do, it's expensive. I mean, it's not cheap. I mean, $900 a barrel, and oil's $900 a barrel, and a set of rods is $1,500, and pistons $50 a piece, and it's expensive, but it's a lot of fun. And as long as it's fun and you have the money, why not go out and do it? That's what I say.
So do you think you ever get behind the wheel of a Top Fuel dragster or funny car?
Man, I'll drive anything. If I had a chance, there's no doubt in my mind. Obviously that's every driver's goal to race that level. I take things in stride, and it's always been a goal of mine to sit in one of those seats. And I work towards it every day. And there's so much more to learn, man. I always try to stay humble and try to stay focused, and every lap I make in a car, I try to learn from it, and every marketing proposal that I send out for sponsorship, I try to learn from that, and maybe someday it'd be awesome. There's no doubt about it. I'd love to take everybody with me too. That's the thing. I want to gather all the people that have helped me the most along the way and take them with me. I think that's where the fun would begin, really.
Yeah. Yeah, like so what do you think about the nostalgic funny cars?
Yeah, man, they're cool. They're really cool. Not really my flavor. They're nitro, so they're cool. But to me, a 21 or 22 gallon pump, and a small blower just doesn't get my juices flowing. Yeah, they're fast. These guys run 550s and 560s and all that stuff, but man, they're killing parts, and it's just, they're not as loud. They don't have the header flames. I just don't think they're quite as cool as a big pump car. You start, you get a fuel pump, north of 50 gallons and a big supercharger, and that's where you get the header flames and the thunder. And in my opinion, that's what's cool, and that's what the fans want to see. So.
Yeah. So.
Right.
Yeah, the big header flames.
Yeah, it's a spectacle, right? To see a car going down the track, and to a virgin spectator, it's like, oh, that car's on fire. That's what's cool, right? When you got 8, 9, 10 foot header flames, coming out of the side of the car. People love that stuff. Nostalgia cars just don't do that. Are they cool? Yeah, they're very cool, but not my favorite. That's for sure.
So, buddy, what do you got planned so far this year? Where you running at?
So right now, schedule is a little bit to be determined. I'll be up in Canada a little bit this summer. Partnered up with Andy Boschman. He's got a new car. It's also AA fuel altered. I'll be sitting in the seat of that car a couple times this year, making some laps. More so assisting Andy with going. I'm excited about that. He's going to be in the seat most of the time, and I'll be crewing for him and help him make some decisions on the car. Definitely in my old car, the blown alcohol car, definitely the World Fuel Elder Nationals. That's on my list. And then everything else is kind of to be determined at this point. So no real date set in stone, but definitely plan to get the old car out 3 or 4 times and go up to Canada a couple times. All goes well from Canada, head out to Bakersfield in October, and that's it, man. I wish we could really. There's so many things up in the air right now. I wish I could really tie down some solid dates for you, but that's all I got as of right now. We'll be out. I don't know. I'll be in the seat of a car 7 or 8 times this summer, though. I do know that.
Okay, so if people want to follow you, and like if you're adding dates in the future, whatever, where can they find you at?
Yeah, man. Well, first of all, I'm available, so if anybody has a seat available, I'd be more than happy to steer your race car for you. But my website is buddyholracing.com. You can also find me on Facebook. I'm not a hard guy to find, just Buddy Hole Racing on Facebook as well. More than happy to answer any questions you have. Feel free to shoot me a message. Facebook Messenger there, and answer any questions you have, man. That's it. I love the sport. I love talking about it, so don't be afraid.
Okay, so you have any last words, buddy, for everybody?
Yeah, go to the drag strip. You know, get out there. Whether you're a fan or whether you're a driver that's not real motivated right now or a team owner, get out to the drag strip, man. Go out there, have some fun. Support those local tracks. Support those racers. Show your kids what it's like. Support those sponsors, and let's keep this American sport going. You know, we've seen some decline in the last few years with the sport, and I'd like to see it go back the other direction. So, message to everyone is get out to that racetrack. You know, do something that is about as American as it gets, and that's participate in the drag race.
Sounds good, buddy. Well, thank you for your time for the interview, buddy.
You got it. Hey, everyone, thank you so much. Appreciate you, Dave, and be more than happy to come back anytime. You just tell me when.
You're welcome to come back anytime, buddy.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
No problem. You have a good night, buddy.